Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Woo! We've only waited. Well, yeah, I know. We've only waited 8 years for that woof. Come on now. Come on, Wolfie. 8 years and 732 episodes. Because this is episode 732 of Far Lands or Bust. For your Thursday, March 28th, 2019. As we continue towards the far lands here in Minecraft Beta 173, as we continue for the 8th year, because technically we didn't actually start walking to the far lands until episode 11 of our series. Wolfie just wants to get going, and episode 11 came out on March 28th, 2011. So now we have officially been walking for 8 years. Indeed. Let's carry on, shall we? And we shall. Of course, just under 8 years, we've also been raising money for charity with this series. It's a walkathon, as you will. We started our first charity fundraiser drive, I guess, in June. So it's a little bit more time for us to reach that milestone again, that 8-year milestone. But this year we're raising money for direct relief at farlandsorbust.com. Currently up to $24,164.32. Thank you so much. That is a lot of money. As someone who just completed doing their taxes, that is a significant amount of money to help out direct relief charity, and I do appreciate everybody who has done so, and everybody who gives their donations and questions, give me things to talk about on this series. Much appreciated indeed. And of course, with that 8-year anniversary on March 28th, we're recording this the day before, by the way, live on Twitch here. Oh, God, that scared me. I'm like, what? What's happening? Battles are abound. Good Lord, the murder, the vicious cycle of nature is bestowed upon us right here. Oh, I thought that guy was going to attack me. Murder. Oh, more murder. Goodness gracious. I'm still in the mode of playing the previous video game. We just played a bit of what was it called? Sekiro? Seiko? The samurai fighty game. So I saw fighting out of the corner of my eye, and I instantly thought like, where's my pocket sand? But no, we're playing Far Lands or Bust. No pocket sand, just arrows. Rude dude. What a rude dude. The rude dude is me. But yeah, we're walking to the far lands, and I did I ever promise? I would like to, but I have yet to have planned for. I would like to tomorrow, if you're watching right now on Twitch, on the 28th, on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/KurtJMac, which to this day, we still get people in chat who are surprised saying, "Oh, you're the Farlands guy. You stream? I didn't know you streamed." Yes, I've been streaming since 2011. And that Kurt J Mac, just like my YouTube channel and my Twitter, is the channel that I stream on Twitch on. Not a flobathon. I hesitate to even call it a marathon, but maybe we'll do a few hours of Far Lands or Bust, just to kind of feel it out, and then I'll upload. Don't worry, I'll upload that to YouTube, not as an episode, but as kind of a little interlude between this episode 732 and 733, kind of a mini-a-thon, not quite a flobathon, just something cool. We'll be able to chit-chat with chat, and things like that. Maybe. Or not. Because I've had some things happen the last few days. Well, let me take that back. Nothing bad has happened. Everybody's fine. But I was telling Twitch here that on Sunday, just out of the blue. And perhaps if you're a dog owner, you're familiar with the out of the blue things and sudden problems your dog might have. Just all of a sudden, Juno started having pain? I'm assuming it's pain. She was whimpering every time she went to get from a laid down position to a stood up position. A very high-pitched whimper. Not quite like, oop, you accidentally stood on her foot or something like that. That's more of a yelp, but just like a whimper. And dogs are funny, even more specifically working dogs, is they want to hide if they're hurt or exhausted. Like a cattle dog and herding dogs would work themselves to death if you weren't aware of their exhaustion levels or energy levels or whatever. And similarly, same thing with wolves, right, Wolfie? Wolves in the wild. Any sign of injury or weakness is a sign of weakness and might put you further down the pecking order of your pack. So dogs tend to hide when they're hurt. And obviously they can't also speak English, so they can't tell you where they hurt. But yeah, I tried figuring it out. I did all the stuff, like manipulating all of her joints and limbs and checking all of her feet, paws, and seeing if there was any foreign objects. Looking at her teeth, seeing if she like busted another tooth or something, and she would never react to any of that. But it was just when she was getting up. And it seems like that it's just like a muscle strain, or even, I don't know, something like a hip something. I do have to be kind of worried. Dogs can end up with like arthritis and joint problems. So I gotta make sure that isn't a problem. Because like I've noticed, she does have a lot of tooth damage, which might mean she has brittle teeth, which also might mean she has brittle or weak bones or joints. So I don't know. It's tough to say. She's fine now. Like she's herself now. She was moving kind of slow and just kind of whimpery on Sunday night and through Monday. But into Tuesday, she was a lot better, and today is Wednesday. I'm recording this. Is back to her normal self, and we're gonna go on a walk, a very short walk, later on. But yeah, we just go on walks. I get her to like jump up on rocks and ledges and park benches. Like there's on our walk, there's a street, a sidewalk with like 4 park benches in a row, and we do like a agility thing where I'll run by it, and she'll jump up and down and up and down, and give her a treat at the end. I've been taking it easy on that sort of stuff, but everything's fine there. So that like occupied my mind a bit too much, among other things. But we'll get to those other things some other time. Oh, buddy. But yeah, 8 years again. I mean, we've already had this discussion at the beginning of the month on March 6th, which is when episode 1 came out for 8 years, and I don't know that there's too much specific to say more than that, other than thanks for continuing to watch. And actually the series has seen an increase in, it's hard to tell. There's definitely more views on each of the episodes, but also there's more time, unfortunately, like between episodes to gain those views. So that's helpful. And I have been, nobody has mentioned, but I have just seen to try to see, like after an episode has gone live, 24 hours later, I'll put ads back onto it just to see if that helps anything out. And I've been doing that for the past few episodes. Just to see, just as an experiment. We're all trying out different things here. And nobody's noticed. So that's you get bamboozled. Typically I've been uploading, and all the previous Far Lines of Bust episodes have been commercial free. since I've launched a Patreon, and that was what that was originally for. But now I'm just kind of testing the waters. It's also hard because we had UHC come out, and UHC got a lot of views and has ads, so my ad revenue might be more affected by that than actually putting ads on Flob. But I just wanted to be upfront and be transparent about such things as these. And continuing in the morning. That made no sense. That was the worst segue. Ah, whatever. And awakeness. And continuing onness. Indeed. Ooh, buddy. Speaking of 8 years of playing this video game, and particularly Minecraft Beta 173, Aaron, with the donation, asked, I wanted to ask if the Minecraft terrain is still interesting after all those blocks, or does it get bland? I think that, with my personal preference, is the difference between the new versions of the game, the new terrain generation, and this version. This feels a lot less planned, or like it's not following a schematic, even though I know it kind of is, and it's still using seeds and that sort of terrain generation stuff. But with the current versions, it just seems like, oh, it's you might get some variation, but oh, it's a savanna. Okay, I've seen a savanna before. This, yeah, we've had stretches where for a couple episodes it's been all just snow and ice and flat, or just these trees or whatever, but then sometimes, just out of the blue and for no particular reason, but bam! Get these amazing hanging cliffs and waterfalls, canyons and stuff. Like, even like, I was excited when they announced, or they introduced the crevasses. What are those things called? the big holes in the ground. The, what are they called, Wolfie? Nothing? You know what I'm talking about. Ravines! Thank you very much, chat. Ravines, because I was like, oh, you know, like, that's always cool to have this big thing that, like, a big slice down to the center of the planet or something. But then it's like, oh, another ravine. It's like, it's a ravine. It's not a unique... Oh, Wolfie! It's not a unique, feature. I mean, sometimes you can get ravines on ravines and then it gets interesting, but otherwise, it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's another ravine. It seems kind of pre-designed. As opposed to here, if we find a ravine or some sort of bottomless pit of magical destiny, we take note, because that's truly randomly generated. So yeah, no, I don't think it does get boring. I don't think it does get boring. It's kind of weird. I guess maybe I almost don't notice it when I'm recording these episodes, aside from hazard avoidance and collecting items and things and keeping track of Wolfie. It's almost like filtered out. I get tunnel vision, I suppose. I mean, and to that degree, a lot of people still listen to just the podcast version, so the terrain in the game itself is really of no consequence at all. But no, I think that's what originally drew me to Minecraft. Well, I can tell you precisely that's what drew me to Minecraft. I know previous games existed that had procedurally generated terrain or worlds or maps or whatever before. See, like this, suddenly, for no reason. This isn't some specific biome. Or at least it doesn't appear to be, but bam! Got a big archway with a big old tree on the side. Neat. Sorry, where was I? See? Distractions. This is probably dangerous. Let's not go through there. What was I saying? I completely got distracted by that piece of land. I was talking about a podcast and how I am kind of just blind to the terrain. Oh. What? 8 years, everybody. I'm truly a professional now. I've figured it out. I'm an expert. The terrain generation, I know there's like other games in the past that, you know, Minecraft wasn't the first game to have random terrain generation or whatever, but it's kind of the first that I really heard that had it, and that was such a, at least in a 3D game, a primary component, and that really just interested me in the experience of the game. Not so much even... Oh, I did have a boat. Not so much even like how they did it, the programming of the game, but just as a player, the experience of a quote-unquote never-ending world with unique terrain and undiscovered land over the next horizon. It just seemed like an interesting thing for me, somebody who makes a point of exploring probably a bit too much in games, as opposed to doing other things that the game might want you to do. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't get boring. It doesn't get bland. There's always something that makes me go, ooh, look at that, or that's weird. Yeah. I was gonna make a joke, but I won't. Next question here from Enyon, who donated to Direct Relief. I read that scientists are attempting to create a gluten-free wheat plant with genetic engineering. Will you try products made from this wheat, if and when it be available in stores? What do you think about genetically modified plants and animals? I didn't hear that, and I don't know how that would be possible. And it's also, it's one of these modern things. If you like read the news and an article says, scientists did this. So it ends up like lumping all of science as a discipline into like some weird stuff sometimes. Not necessarily scientists as a whole, perhaps food scientists, perhaps people employed by General Mills or something like that. But, you know, not, you know, physicists and other disciplines. But yeah, no, I haven't particularly heard that. I don't know why that would be a thing, since there are already alternatives to wheat for gluten-free items. That seems like a lot of work for kind of a problem that's already been solved. But it could be right. You'll just have to, maybe you'll have to send me the link, or I'll Google it at some point or something like that. What do you think about genetically modified plants and animals? Ho! See? Example, exhibit, evidence number A. Look at this neat thing. It's a big old thing. It could like be turned into it looks like a big Star Wars Imperial Walker or something you could sculpt out of it. Or at least one half of one. Ooh, doggy. Yeah, even like the extreme hills biomes in the current versions of the game seem pre-made. Even though I know they're not, but they just seem pre-made and pre-planned, as opposed to this is like, blonk. There's some stuff here that seems like of no particular consequence. Neat. Got this big old waterfall. Another bridge, natural bridge right there. Geology. Got some caves. This would be a nice place to set up camp. Got this nice hazy view. Why did I not take a screenshot of this, my friends? Why did I not? I feel like this will be a good place. Hey, Wolfie. No, over here. Boink. Oh, perfect. What if I do something wacky? Screenshot. Boink. All right. What was I saying? Oh, genetically modified plants. That's, again, kind of like gluten-free. Gluten-free is kind of a buzzword now, and I'm seeing shampoo and, like, fruits and stuff, like, with labels saying they're gluten-free. That's kind of a buzzword. That's similarly with GMOs. GMOs are, like, suddenly a bad word. And there's not necessarily anything health-wise, there's nothing wrong with GMOs. Of course, you could perhaps correlate genetically engineered plants having been genetically engineered to resist a certain type of pesticide, so therefore maybe you want to worry about that use of that pesticide with that GMO, but like almost every plant that we eat is in some rudimentary form been genetically modified. Wheat plants have been selectively bred to output in a way that allows us to use it in crops as opposed to like the wild plant it originally was. Same thing with like bananas were either huge plantains or little tiny things, so we genetically modified them by crossbreeding different breeds of bananas to get the perfect handheld size banana. Banana! And awakeness. So yeah, it's kind of a blanket term that has kind of swelled into the marketing of foods and products that is kind of non-consequential in most scenarios. True, like I said with the pesticide thing, a GMO type of soybean might be patented by a company. Forgot the name of the company. I think they changed their name because they were hated so much. Monsanto, that's right. They did change their name to something else. Cleverly, I don't know what it is. So yeah, they patent the soybean for use with their pesticides, and then they charge a license fee for anybody who wants to grow that soybean. And there's a whole bunch of legal, ethical, patent jibber-jabber that goes along with that. I feel like that's a different issue than saying, oh, non-GMOs are healthy, or it's like a decision that needs to be made in the shopping aisle. So yeah, I mean, there's certainly far better examples and ideas and arguments related to that I have not researched or have any useful knowledge on. Holy Minecraft! You're giving me too many things for my screenshots. This one's got snow-capped peaks and some holes and sheeps. Actually, it's a little bit too far away to get a good picture of. So yeah, I generally don't think about it too much, if at all. Other than sometimes, if I see gluten-free shampoo, I get a chuckle out of seeing something that's not non-GMO. Small batch. Small batch. Hold on, let me get up this Dangerous, dangerous mountain. Very green grass. It's been fertilized by the snow melt. Hold on. Wolfie, 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 you're being very dangerous. Oh, these are the holes. Neat. Boink. Yes, fertilized sediment from the snow melt eroding away at the rocks and other things that have fallen from the snow in the sky, flows downward and collects in the soils and fertilizes the ground. It's the circle of geology and life and stuff and things. Science! Small Batch asked 25 years ago, oh, this is kind of there's a setup here. 25 years ago, at a kind of a funky party. Ooh, funky parties. 25 years ago, mid-90s funk parties that are funky. Please tell more. Some friends of mine very seriously told me that they thought a shaman from Haiti had put a hex on the USA. That was a funky party indeed. That was a very funky party, Small Batch. Seeing as how the world is as it is today, do you think it's possible they were right? Do you have any mystical experiences? Watch where you're going, Kurt. Mystical experiences in your youth? Well, I don't believe that at all. There's no such thing as oh, I don't know, the whole Nostradamus prophet hexes, curses, things like that. Honestly, 25 years ago, you could probably look at the state of the world and who was in power and who in the past 25 years moved things in certain directions, and you could probably rightly guess that XYZ was going to happen, but you can't, like, it's so vague. Like, you put a hex on the USA, like, oh no, something bad is going to happen to a country in the next 25 years? That's gonna happen everywhere. And you can adjust it by whatever degree of bad, quote-unquote-ness that you want to fit the prediction or the curse or whatever. Ah! Careful, Wolfie. Are we ever going to get a pink sheep again? Are they not found this far away from the equator? Is that we're out of their territory? Because it's been quite a few, many hundred days since we've seen a pink sheep. I'm just saying, now would be the time. Pass it on to your leaders there, sheep. So, yeah, no, I'm gonna say no. Have I ever had mystical experiences? All the weird stuff I thought were ghosts or aliens or something as a kid, or simply because I was a kid and I didn't know what XYZ was. Or I had a very, 404 cave? A very active imagination or something like that. Yay! Ooh, that caused a little bit of lag. Whee! Neat. So, no? Yeah, no, I don't have any evidence that any of that stuff is real. I mean, I've had magical experiences, you know, like seeing a large, massive fireball in the sky or watching the solar eclipse totality. that feels like magic. I can explain it all, but that's I think as close, and I know I'm no fun, but that's as close as I can sort of equate the magical, the floating block of ice was mystical and magical and all powerful and all knowing. I can't explain the lack of pink sheep. That's a mystery. That's mystical. So yeah, no, probably not. The real magic was the friends we made along the way. It was within us all along. And, but yeah, thank you for that question and donation. I never know how quite to address those things. Like, I don't want to poo-poo on anybody's beliefs or even just like casual interests. Same thing with like astrology or tarot cards or healing crystals. If you believe it works for you, then hey, it actually works for you. But is something real or scientific happening? Then no. I'm gonna say no. And I also where I would interject is where it would become like if you're getting fleeced by like some psychic or somebody who asks for money or tells you to. I knew that was happening. It's pink pig. Yep, that was a pink pig. But or is causing some sort of danger, like we talked about previously. Anti-vaxxers are completely bananas and just no, very dangerous, very dangerous. So yeah. Anyway, speaking of mystical things, I got a very mystical and mysterious question here from Doc Gratis that I don't quite get. Do you have a strong feeling about the number F? How about 16? F? Is this a riddle? Am I supposed to solve something here? Ah! Whoa! Whoa! Where did all that damage come from? I saw you just take a little half-head of damage. That don't do. Hey, listen, I had enough of this with Juno over the weekend. I don't need you making those noises too. Those are pretty much the noises, actually. That freaked me out. Dang, Wolfie, dang. It's been 8 years. Calm yourself. What I think probably happened is he got stuck under the ice and took drowning damage. It's probably what happened. It's a very, very dangerous place we are walking through. Let's get across the street here. The water here. Let's get out of the ice too. No, Wolfie. All right, yeah. All right. Let's dig in. I realize this is not the correct way to face at the end of the episode. Woo! Hey, Wolfie! You dang noodle, come over here. Oi! Noodle! Yeah, you, with the face. Ah, there we go. Got him. Alright, that was weird. Let's dig in for the night. And, yeah. I don't get the F16. That's not like a button on my keyboard that I'm aware of anyway. And F isn't a number. So therefore, Pee-wee's bike is in the basement of the Alamo. We figured it out, everybody. But yeah, thank you so much for watching episode 732. Check my Twitter. If I will give a notice. A notice. You're on notice. When or whether. I'm great at this. I'm going to be going live with any sort of casual Barlands or Bust marathon. Or I don't know, maybe we'll celebrate by going on the Patreon server that I haven't been on in a few months, or going on the Mindcrack server, you know, something. Try to do something to commemorate the time. Maybe I'll record just another episode. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and for all of your support. It is much appreciated indeed. Farlandserbust.com is where you can continue to donate to Direct Relief. Let's make a stone shovel, because this one's about to break. That was sticks. There we go. Farlandserbust.com to donate to Direct Relief Charity, and twitch.tv/KurtJMac to watch my streams. Today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever. We're doing a bunch of crazy, wacky things. Like playing weird, difficult, Dark Souls-esque-ish samurai ninja games with pocket sand and suck. What? No. This is a children's show. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. The vicious cycle of nature